What's up, everybody? It's Mitch Calandra here with Gardner, one of my good friends and college teammates. We haven't spoken in a while, so I'm super excited to get this going. Dude, you've been up to a lot since we've last talked, since we've last seen each other. So get into what you've been up to since we last spoke. Especially, I want to hear about everything you got going on with Rachel. Tell me all the good things you got going on there, and then we'll get into your career and everything else. So go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, man. Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Putting out some great content so far, so I'm really excited to see what comes next. So a lot's happened, obviously, since we graduated college. It's been about 4 years now. Rach and I have been dating for about 6 years, and we just got engaged. Was that last December? So we're getting married in June. We just recently got a dog. We got a German Shepherd dog. He's 9 months old. He's sitting right by my feet right now. He's a handful. But no, man, things are good. So working at Lumberlend, that's the job I work at. Worked there in 2018, right out of college. It was basically the first job I had. Played with AJ at AJ Nikowski, who's the owner and CEO. Played with him. He was an Eckerd guy. He was gracious enough to offer me a job right out of college.
Absolutely.
Trying to get on the ground floor. Just kind of helped out everywhere. Wore a ton of different hats. Just did so many different things. So worked there for about a year. Yeah. What's up? Sorry.
Absolutely. No, I'm going to ask you like super specific questions about that. Cause I do want to, that is the main thing I'm going to get into today. So, dude, first let's talk about Eckerd and before your career, just how we know each other and stuff before we get into Lumberland and all that good stuff. So, dude, we played for 3 years together.
Yeah.
Like a shit show of 3 years, to say the least. But one thing I will say is that, and if you asked pretty much anybody that knew you, was teammates of yours, you played a huge part of getting us to that senior year and being able to have that senior year that we had. I mean, you kind of established the police yourself mindset on the team in terms of we don't really need our coach to, punish guys as much, that kind of stuff, because we were going to police it within ourselves. And, dude, I think that specifically is one thing that you brought that helped us that senior year. Because once we took over the role as the leaders of the team, we kind of took over. We got a lot of guys kicked off. We kind of weeded out the cancers of the team. And, dude, you're 100% a big reason that, how we learned how to do that and how to speak to guys and be respectful of teammates and just be good leaders. So that is just one thing I did want to say before we got into your Lumberland and your career and everything. I just wanted to say that real quick, talking about Eckerd and stuff.
Well, I appreciate that. But I mean, I think it was you guys first and foremost. I mean, I was a sophomore. You guys came in. You guys were a talented class coming in. And I knew that, at some point in the near future, Eckerd was going to have a really, really good team. And just so happened it was the year after I left, and I couldn't have been more proud than you guys or for you guys. And, I watched every single game. I would leave work early sometimes just to watch your guys' games. It was just a great moment for Eckerd in general.
Absolutely, you guys, dude. It was
you guys brought a lot of the alumni back, and that's Eckerd has a winning history, and a lot of people don't know that. And it was, 25-ish years since that stuff had happened. So,
yeah, that's one of the things that Josh always says when he talks about it. He's always like, yeah, you guys did it for that year, that group of guys. It was awesome. But all the guys that struggled through the losing years, they felt, the championship too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They got to live it through us. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. And that's why the next couple of years, I am 1,000% going to be trying to get down there for Alumni Day. I'm not going this year. Just honestly don't have the cash. But yeah, in the future, I would love for all of us to, even if we just got down there once a year, once every other year, it would be awesome to, once everybody's established, a little bit older, we can make that a thing every year. Would be awesome.
Yeah. Agreed, man. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I haven't gone since I graduated, but I want to get back down there. Like you said, it's it's an expensive flight to get down to Florida, but also to kind of stay down there too. So
no doubt, and also with all this COVID stuff going on, it just adds a whole nother layer of difficulty. So yeah, that's why I in the future I will 100% be wanting to go down there, but this year not going to happen
for sure.
What's up, everybody? So I'm interrupting this part of the show to tell you about a new segment that I'm going to call Guest Song of the Week. This week I have Gardner Nutter on, as you guys have already seen so far in the show. And I think it's going to be a really cool segment because I'm basically going to surprise every guest with a song that involves the episode topic, anything. So this week I made a song about the Lumberlend Bat Mug, which we will be getting into in a little bit during the show. So I hope you guys enjoy this week's Guest Song of the Week. All right, so here's the world premiere of the new song, the Lumberlend Bat Mug. Nutter, I hope it at least puts a smile on your face, bud. 16 ounces, 10 and 12 ounce too, 12 ounce too. It takes the best damn workplace to bring this product to you, Don't forget about the shot glass, party all night long, Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, it's the name of this song. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the Lumberlend Bat Mug, Lumberlend Bat Mug. They even have a bottle opener. It's the Lumberlend Bat Mug, Lumberlend Bat Mug. Your groomsmen are gonna love it. Everybody at your wedding is gonna want a shot glass. It's the Lumberlend Bat Mug.
So dude, let's get right into your career at Lumberlend.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned this to you before the show a little bit, but Lumberland's TikTok account is one of my favorite TikTok accounts. It's one of the accounts that I've been following for the longest. Like I said, honestly, I've seen some of your earlier videos. I've been around that account for a while. So, dude, get into just some of the fun videos, like what it's been like making those cool videos that a shit ton of people see. So just tell me what it's been like, waking up every day, seeing the kind of feedback you guys get and everything like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. It provides a good balance at work between all the, the things that happen on downstairs, which is pretty much all the manufacturing of the hard products that we make, and then upstairs with our media team. I'd have to give our media team the most credit because, they do such a great job editing, such a great job with the content and everything in between. And then, obviously all of us it's just as we go. And we don't really have a script for anything. It's just what comes off our heads. I mean, we got a bunch of funny guys. I just try to keep up, but you got
absolutely, dude. And it is, you are one of those guys that, like, don't get me wrong. Like, when I saw you on there, you did awesome. The videos you're in are awesome. But when the first time I saw you on there, when it popped up, I was like, Nutter. I was like, what's Nutter doing on this TikTok video with 1 million views on it? So I was like, it was awesome for me the one day because I knew you had worked there, but I'd never seen you in any of those videos. Mm-hmm. And then, dude, I scroll in one day, I see you on there, and man, it's been awesome just to see those videos and see what you've been up to through the Lumberlend TikTok account. Because it always puts a smile on my face, those videos, whatever random stuff you guys do come up with. So dude, the one person I do love and he always makes me laugh is Big Nick. So dude, just give me like a rundown. Like I said, I have seen him in the Eckerd College baseball shirt. So it did make me gravitate towards the account. So just tell me a little bit about what it's like working for Big Nick. He seems like he's a big personality. Just tell me a little bit about him.
Yeah, Big Nick's a great guy. He means really well. I don't think we have such a great culture at Lumberlend. I think every person is, I get along with everybody there, which is pretty unique in a company. But Big Nick is he's one of a kind. He loves people so much. And he just loves to be energetic. He means well, and he's just, you never know what's going to come out of his mouth. And when it does, it's usually something that'll put you on the ground laughing. So,
dude, whatever, like, you know how you guys do like the contest, like whatever, whatever it is that day.
Yeah.
When he screams wrong answers, I got to make sure I don't have a water nearby, because sometimes the way he is so confident in his, it kills me. So that I just wanted to see, he seems like a nice guy. It seems all real and genuine on your guys' account.
Mm-hmm.
So like it does seem like almost somebody just runs up to you guys with a camera, asks you those questions, and then boom, moves on with their day.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is the vibe that the account has, and that's what I think makes it so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So dude, just quickly, for people who don't know, we're talking about Lumberlend because I know about the company, all that stuff. So tell me just essentially, what is Lumberlend company? Obviously it has the bat mugs, but get into any other products if there is any. If not, just tell me a little bit about the bat mugs.
Yeah, sure. So we started in 2016. Like I said, AJ Nikowski, Nick's older brother, started the company, played with him in Eckerd. And he had the idea from the start to make basically a drinking mug out of the top of a baseball bat. And then it just kind of flourished from there. And since then we've added 4 more products to that line. So we have, the regular 12-ounce mug, fits 12 ounces of any hot or cold liquid. Then we have a 10-ounce mug. It's a smaller mug. It's almost like a whiskey glass. Then we have a shot glass. And then we have a bottle opener. And then we also have just a big giant mug, which fills 16 ounces. So,
okay.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I know my dad has one. It was from a while ago. I think it was honestly, I think it's just a plain one. I think it just says Lumberland or something on it like that. It was one of the original ones. So now I know you can customize them. Like there's all kinds of different features. One thing I was going to mention to you on the show is me and Nicole are also been together 6 years yesterday, actually.
Yeah, that's awesome. I did see that on Instagram.
We're coming up on 2 years engaged. We're not doing the, traditional get engaged year or so later, get married. We're just, saving up and stuff. But one idea that I've had straight from the start since we've gotten engaged is getting my groomsmen each a bat mug for the wedding. So I've 100% going to be using Lumberlend.
That's awesome.
I did just want to mention that to you because I've said that. I'm talking going back 2 years, 3 years now. I've mentioned doing this for my groomsmen. So I'm looking forward to eventually getting those made.
That's awesome, man.
Because because your guys' products are so cool. And I think just the idea, how it was born, everything is just so awesome.
Talk to Rach. She can hook you up with a discount. She works in the customer service as well as the operations. So
sweet. Yeah. So I'll definitely hit up Rachel when I'm ready to make that purchase. But dude, I want to get into now your specific role with the company. So just quickly tell me what you do on a daily basis, some of the cooler things you do, some of the everyday things you do, just anything you want to get into about what you do.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm the product manager. So I deal with mainly kind of overseeing and helping with the production from day-to-day operations, but also there's a second half to it, which is mainly supply chain, inventory, forecasting, talking with manufacturers, product development. It's really kind of multifaceted, and it's allowed me just to kind of do a lot of different things. And right now, our biggest thing is, trying to work with the supply chain because it's just a complete mess right now.
It's a mess, right?
Yeah. Especially with products overseas. So we're trying to kind of, make more of our products in, or at least with our packaging, because obviously our product is handmade in the United States, it's handmade in Massachusetts, but a lot of our packaging, we're trying to kind of find ways to just make sure that this whole supply chain just doesn't bite us in the butt, because it's
keep everything, honestly, products going out to customers, all that good stuff. Just keep it flowing, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun. I love connecting the dots with things, and since I started, we've added, I think it's 4 new products, and we're going to start adding slowly. We're going to do some limited drops of apparel. We already did 1 limited drop of shirts. We dropped it at 8 p.m. It sold out by 8:30. We just did 100 shirts, and we're going to kind of slowly do that, and then hopefully have a product line in the future. But no, we're excited about it. We're excited about the future 2022 holds, and yeah,
man. And I mean, so you had I think you mentioned it a little bit earlier. The social media stuff, like when did that really become like a prime part of the company? Because I know it's not always been like that.
Yeah. So the social media started, it started, I think, in the end of 2019, with the social media, basically the head honcho, Casey, and he started in 2019, and we just started kind of filming, just kind of like little bits and pieces here. And just as it's absolutely evolved. And in 2021, I think it was in May, we hired, or not May, March, we hired, 4 or 5 more people, to add on to the media team. And it's just grown exponentially. And obviously we're on all platforms right now. TikTok, we have a little over 2 million followers. Instagram, we have, I don't know, between the 2 accounts, I think we have over 200,000 followers. So
yeah, man,
it's just producing content.
Platform you guys have.
Yeah, it's just producing content that people want. We're just trying to put genuine content out there. We're not trying to push anything. We have a daily podcast called In the Pit, which is every day. We're on Patreon.
Yeah, I saw Lanzilli's brother on there the other night, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's the podcast, the business podcast with AJ and Will, who's our chief marketing officer. And then
nice.
Yeah, so they have just like a businessy podcast, and they'll have on some cool guests. And yeah, Chris Lanzilli was on.
Sweet.
So
awesome. All right, dude. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to get into about Lumberlend. Dude, like I said, I've been a big fan. I'm a big fan of the product. I mean, obviously it's a baseball bat, so we're going to like it. But I'm just talking in terms of creativity of product, uniqueness of an idea. That's one of the reasons I wanted to have you come on, because I think it's such an awesome company, as well as you being an awesome guest. So, dude, we are going to get into the part of the show that I call Catch's Corner. This has nothing to do with your career, a little bit to do with your life, because I did ask you some questions before the show just so I had some ideas. But, dude, so let's get into Catch's Corner. It's going to be 5 questions, totally random. I'm going to answer some of them as well after you, but it's mostly about your answer, so let's get right into it.
Cool.
First question of Catch's Corner. Favorite Star Wars character and why?
Oh, Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin!
No doubt. I actually, my best friend growing up, his dad always called me Anakin because I dressed up like him for Halloween. I think when I was like 5 or 6 years old. And then I actually had this I had the rat tail going for a while.
Let's go.
I think I had it for like 2 years. And then my mom took me to the hairdresser, and I told him to keep it, and then she made him cut it off, and I was so devastated. But Anakin for sure.
Dude, me and my brother used to dress up in, the capes, the lightsabers, and, find a piece of string or my mom's yarn or something, and we'd always tape it to our heads or something so we could have the little rat tail.
Oh, that's great.
Like Anakin and Obi-Wan as well.
Yeah.
But my favorite Star Wars character, and I know it's basic because it's new, but dude, I've liked the Mandalorians.
Although I acknowledge that bounty hunting is a complicated profession,
Well, I watched Clone Wars. So I've been a Mandalorian fan since I've watched Clone Wars, because I've always been a big Clone Wars fan. So when they came out with the show finally, I think it's one of the coolest, types of people in Star Wars. So specifically, I do love the new character of the Mandalorian. I think the show is unbelievable.
I thought that show was fantastic.
Dude, and it's only starting too. That's what people don't realize. Like, there's a huge story behind all of that stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I think it is. Hopefully they do it right. And the guy who creates it, Jon Favreau, is
he's unbelievable.
He's made
Marvel, baby,
the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion. So, dude, yeah, I'm super excited where the Mandalorian goes. But, dude, next one. If you could have dinner with one celebrity, famous person, dead or alive, who would it be?
That's a great question. I think we had a similar question at work one day. I think I picked Will Smith at one point, but I'm gonna change my answer. I would have to say, man, I'd have to say Kygo, and the reason is I absolutely love the music that he makes, and and I just listening to his music is just the most chill thing ever, and I just love to have dinner with the guy. He's a cool dude.
That's an awesome answer that I definitely was not expecting, but that's awesome. I think, and I don't agree with 1,000% of everything this guy says and does, but dude, just to pick the brain of Elon Musk, I know it's another basic answer. It's a basic answer, but I think that guy's brain in itself is one of the most fascinating things on the planet. It could be a wonder of the world. So I would just want to sit down and I would just have a long list of questions that I would want to ask Elon Musk.
So you ever listen to the Joe Rogan podcast with him?
Oh, dude, it's just statement after statement of just mind-blowing information.
Guy's an alien. I'm telling you, he's an alien. He's from a different planet.
He most definitely could be. All right, this one, I know it's hard because there are so many different ones. I feel like I change my answer to this question all the time as well. But favorite sports movie and why?
Yeah, that's a good question. Favorite sports movie's got to be Miracle. Every time I watch that, no matter anytime I flip on the TV, if that movie's on, I'm watching it. I don't care what I'm doing at the time. I am watching that movie. It's fantastic. I could probably quote 85% of the movie, and which is annoying because Rachel and I have watched it and she just says, just shut up. But it's just such a great movie, man. I get teary-eyed at the end of the movie every time.
Dude, just the fact that that's one of the sports movies that didn't even need to be dramatized.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything that happened in that movie, and obviously some of the quotes, stuff like that, are for Hollywood and stuff. But, like, essentially, they were the biggest underdog in history.
Man.
So it is an awesome movie because, you know, there's always underdog stories. But, like, that's the underdog story.
Yeah.
So I couldn't agree more with that movie. That's an awesome pick. I would go Sandlot just because of the impact it had on me wanting to play baseball. Just the summers with my friends in Floral Park. Like, we used to go to a community pool like that. So just the relatable factor. Now all it does is bring back nostalgia. You know, what I would give for one more day with some of my high school buddies at that pool again or at the park again. So every time I watch that movie, it just makes me think of all the huge group of buddies that I had back home. All right, this one, I have a backup question if you don't have this. This one's a little in-depth. So this one is favorite character that has been killed off.
Ooh.
All right, if you don't have
are we talking about any TV show, movie? What are we talking about?
Yeah, movie, TV show, like basically just a favorite character that has been killed off.
It's a great question. I'd have to go Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Now, I know this is tough because that the series kind of ended, and now they're filtering in stuff. But killing Iron Man at the end just really put a damper on the whole Marvel series for me.
So. Dude, there are comic series that bring him back. So there is not zero hope, but I don't think like Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., the Iron Man feel will ever be the same again, obviously. No. And the funny thing about that death in the Marvel universe is Nicole has never liked any of the Marvel movies ever. Finally got her into them, has started to admit liking it. We just saw the new Spider-Man. She loved that. And dude, in Endgame, when we watched it and Iron Man dies, it's like she couldn't help feel it. She's been invested ever since. So, dude, it does kill it for guys like us who have been in it from the beginning, but it also does bring people in because Nicole, I think that's one of the things that now she's like emotionally connected to all these characters now because of that.
I gotta say though, it's one of the best like ending lines of any character though. I am
my
Iron Man.
Gosh, dude,
Gotta love it.
I mean, it gives me full body chills just thinking about it right now. And I know it's nerdy and I don't care. I mean, look at the dang poster behind me. So, I love that answer. Mine, I don't know if you're a Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh yeah.
But one of the hardest deaths ever in a movie for me, and I know he was a little loopy, but the ring can do that to people, is Boromir in the first movie. Yeah. I think he has one of the coolest cinematic deaths of all time because he comes to the realization of just, damn, I've been a complete cocksucker this entire time. So now I'm going to just, kind of wear this one for the team.
Yeah.
So, dude, I'm glad you had a answer for that one because I thought that was a cool question. Last one, and I hope it's not the same as your answer to number 2. If it is, again, all good. If you could be one person for 24 hours, who would you be and why? So one.
Oh, man. That's a great question. I would say I'd probably want to be Joe Rogan, man. And here's the reason why is because that guy has some of the coolest people on his pod. Actually, no, I'm going to change my answer. I would love to be nope. I'm not moving from it. Joe Rogan. And here's why is because he has some of the coolest people on his podcast. And he could literally get anybody on his podcast. If he has Elon Musk on, he's had, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets Bezos on there at some point. He's just, that guy has had some of the greatest interviews. The only thing I don't like about Joe Rogan's podcast is that they're 4 hours long and you have to break them up because I can't just sit there and listen to someone, but.
Absolutely. But there gets to a point too where he almost deserves the 4 hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Question. It's like, dude, the information that this guy is not only revealing, but just handing to the world. He's literally just has created a platform where millions and millions of people get real live information.
Mm-hmm.
Good, bad. It's just everything you can think of is just information. And he essentially lets you take it and do what you want with it. And that's what I love about it. It's like kind of gets you thinking about every aspect of everything that's going on in this world right now, which is one of the reasons I do love that.
Yeah, and he also asks great questions too. It's one thing to have great people on your podcast or on your any kind of interview or whatnot, but it's another thing to actually ask great questions. And he asks great questions, like you've done so far. You've asked great questions.
I appreciate that. But dude, the last thing I want you to do on the show, we're about to wrap this up, is we have the national championship tonight. Mm-hmm. So I figured this would be a great time to make a bold prediction, me and you. So I'm going to ask you, who you taking tonight, Alabama or Georgia in the SEC rivalry? Who you got?
This is fantastic. The reason it's fantastic is my sister lives in Georgia, and they're huge Alabama fans. My brother-in-law works at Athens Ford, and you can imagine he gets so much crap for being an Alabama fan. But I got to roll with Bama. I think they're going to absolutely roll over Georgia again. They're just two different leagues, man. They're two different leagues, and I know Georgia's a good football team. I know Kirby Smart's great coach, but you can't bet against Alabama. You really can't.
Can't. And dude, for me, these last couple, especially this year, because I think Alabama, again, it could come back to bite us tonight, but I feel like Alabama has proved that the season that Trevor Lawrence had as a freshman to beat them and the season that Joe Burrow had with LSU to beat them is Clemson had a great team, great defense, everything. But that Joe Burrow team to just go in and just dominate and just be clearly better than every other team in the country with a great Alabama defense and a great Alabama teams. That's why I just think Georgia does not have those elite NFL dominating players that I think Clemson's team had, and I think that LSU team had, those teams that can beat them. So that's why I totally agree. Alabama tonight, I just don't see the offensive talent on the Georgia side being able to compete.
Can't bet against Nick Saban too, man. Guy's been there, done that,
and exactly. If he's willing to do a damn quarterback change in the national championship, like how are you betting against? And it works. How are you betting against that guy? He's made nothing but all the right decisions.
Yeah.
So, dude, yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm taking Alabama as well. So, Nutter, dude, so pumped that we finally got you on the show.
Oh,
like I said, man, I'm so excited for you and Rachel. I've known you guys since the beginning of your relationship. So I'm super pumped to see, your guys' life together as well as me and Nicole's. I'm looking forward to eventually seeing you again, bud.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Other than that, man, thanks again for being on the show.
Thanks for having me on, dude. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this podcast does because I know with you at the helm, man, anything's possible.
I appreciate it, man. I'm just starting small. I'm going to try to get, I have some access to some cool guests with my profession. I meet a lot of cool people. So I'm excited to see who I eventually can get on here and see where it takes me. But again, man, excited to have you on. And eventually I hope I would love to have you on again.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it, Mitch.
All right.
Take care,
no
dude.
doubt, bud.